Hello Tacticians, Wita here with the Rising Legends recap of the last ever Golden Spatula Cup. Going into the weekend, there was a lot at stake for our hard-working tacticians who were battling it out for the qualifier points. Also, mean you could get a direct spot into the tactician's crown, so every placement mattered. The meta forecast showed a high chance of AP and reroll, and that was exactly what we got to see as we got off to a flyer on day one. The loved TFT streamer and sheetmaster Solar-san came off to a flying start at day one, where he amounted 4 first place finishes in a row, but at the end of the day it was relatively unknown quantity Dai who ended up at the top of the standings with a massive 40 points to his name. That wasn't the only surprise, however, as we did see a lot more of the trick shot flex compositions that we initially expected. However, we did see Enzo with the highlight composition of the day, being the Riven reroll with the Talisman of Ascension, where the Riven's broken wings absolutely crushed his opponents. Day 2 started with an interview with the Spanish duo Astonishing and Little Wall. They talked about the development of the Spanish scene, and come towards the end of day 3, they would have a lot to celebrate. With the day 3 format having multiple cutoff points, competition proved to be immensely cutthroat. People are glad ended up providing us with one of the most entertaining games of the day when he managed to combine the Tattoo of Toxin with the Blighting Jewel on a Teemo free, turning that little devil into an unkillable demon. Egyptian Muji looked like he was going to get his revenge for his agonizing loss in the final GSC of Dragonlance, where he missed the title by a singular point. As we reached the final lobby, the Egyptian had a 3-point lead towards his nearest pursuers. All he needed to do was secure top 4 and the title would be his. The final game of GSC 3 proved to be one of the most intense games in competitive TFT history. The opening augments were prismatic, and Muji picked up the Living Forge to hopefully find some that suited his game plan, but as he popped the opening anvil, accomplice which allowed him to go on an early game win streak. As Sappho's center reroll composition started to stall out, Mujiwara went out in 5th, opening up the title completely for Sappho as well as Carmine Corp's Wet Jungler. In the 1v1, both players were looking for the final edge, but Sappho's HP lead from the early game proved to be too much for Wet Jungler's board to handle. All it took for Sappho was to find one win, and while Wet Jungler found a couple of wins along the way, once that win was found for Sappho, there was no second chances and he could pop off and celebrate Spain's second ever GSC win. That is everything we had for you today here with the Rising Legends recap. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you all at the Rising Legends Finals starting on July 5th until July 7th at 4 PM CST. Farewell.